This episode of the series covers the differences between abiotic and biotic factors, how these factors affect different organisms and populations, and how they combine to create complex ecosystems. Let's start by examining the non living components that shape life on Earth. Abiotic factors are the non living, physical, and chemical components of an ecosystem that determine which organisms can exist in particular environments. Key abiotic factors include moisture levels in soil and air, which influence water availability for all organisms. Light intensity determines photosynthesis rates in plants and affects animal behavior patterns. Temperature influences metabolic rates, enzyme function, and activity levels across all living things. Carbon dioxide levels are crucial for plant photosynthesis, whilst oxygen levels determine survival for aquatic animals. Wind intensity affects seed dispersal, pollination, and physical stress on organisms. Finally, soil pH and mineral content, particularly nitrate deficiency, directly influence plant growth due to inefficient protein synthesis. These factors determine which plant species can thrive, subsequently affecting entire food webs built upon plant producers. Changes in abiotic factors can trigger profound ecosystem responses. Consider what happens when light intensity decreases due to prolonged cloud cover or canopy closure. Reduced light intensity limits photosynthesis rates in plants, decreasing their energy production. This leads to slower growth rates, reduced reproduction, and potentially declining plant populations. The effects cascade through the ecosystem as herbivores lose food sources and shelter. Predator populations subsequently decline as their prey becomes scarce, demonstrating the interconnected nature of ecosystem responses. Biotic factors represent the living components and their interactions within ecosystems. These factors include all the ways organisms influence each other's population and community sizes. Predation is a fundamental biotic factor, with predators controlling prey populations whilst depending on them for survival. The introduction of new predators can dramatically alter community dynamics, sometimes leading to population crashes or extinctions. Competition occurs when organisms require the same limited resources. This competition can be intraspecific between members of the same species or interspecific between different species occupying similar ecological niches. Consider red and gray squirrels inhabiting the same woodland. Both species compete for similar food sources and nesting sites, with the better adapted species typically dominating over time. Pathogens represent another crucial biotic factor, causing diseases that can decimate populations. Historical data often shows dramatic population crashes following pathogen introduction. A population increasing steadily might suddenly plummet when disease strikes, taking years or decades to recover to previous levels. Food availability directly controls population sizes, as organisms cannot survive without adequate nutrition. Changes in food supply, whether through environmental changes or species interactions, immediately affect dependent populations. The interaction between living and non living factors creates particularly complex ecosystem dynamics. Temperature changes might favor certain pathogens, whilst rainfall patterns influence plant growth and subsequent herbivore populations. These interactions make ecosystem responses difficult to predict but fascinating to study. By understanding how abiotic and biotic factors interact, ecologists develop conservation strategies to protect vulnerable ecosystems. This scientific understanding guides management decisions for maintaining biodiversity and ecosystem services essential for human well being.